morning, friends. I hope you guys are well. I am currently standing in front of our office closet, which is very quickly become my own personal Monica's closet. It is my dumping ground for anything and everything. It is no longer a functional space. It is just filled to the brim with stuff. And so I need to declutter it and organize it, come up with some new systems, because this is prime real estate. This could be really important for our family, for organization and storage, for all of the things that we need this summer. So I am taking back my closet today. I'm taking back my sanity. I can't even close the doors anymore. It's so stuffed. So if you're new, welcome. My name is Trisha Miller. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and stick around. Let me show you what we're dealing with today. So as you guys can see, it is just atrocious. This is why it's my Monica's closet. I close the doors and hide it and pretend it doesn't exist, but then I open the doors to shove more stuff in it, and then I close the doors again. It has just become a really bad cycle, and so today is the day. I'm actually very much looking forward to getting this back because, like I said, this is prime real estate. This is where I keep school supplies, craft supplies for the kids, entertainment for Rory for her little summer projects, and just extra storage. And so the time has come, you guys. The time has come. It can feel a little overwhelming before we start these projects. So let me give you guys some quick advice. Okay, so here's my advice when you want to take on a decluttering and organizing project, but it just feels overwhelming and you know that it might take more than an hour, definitely more than a day, multiple days. Sometimes it's hard to carve out that time or really just honestly motivate yourself to carve out that time. And so I have been putting this off for the longest time. So here's my advice for you guys when you're in that situation. Start small. Even if you need to dedicate multiple weeks to a project, get out your calendar, your paper planner if you're me, and just dedicate a task each day that could take maybe 10 minutes, maybe up to an hour, so that you're chipping away at the project and it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Just start small. But if you're more type A perfectionist like me and you're like, I just need to get it done, it will stress me out to prolong the project, take a day. Take a day off from work, take a day of your weekend, take that day because it will be worth it times 1,000 because the stress that's gonna come off of your shoulders when you take on that space. And obviously it doesn't have to be a closet. It can be some other space in your home, whatever part of your home, which should be your sanctuary, it should be a place of peace, whatever part of your home is stressing you out, I encourage you to watch this video, keep that part of your home in mind and start making your plan and then just get it done. You've got this. I believe in you. I believe in myself. We're gonna get this done together. I'm gonna see how far I go today. My kids are home for summer, so I'm keeping that balance of doing quality time with my kids, but also getting my life together and getting stuff done. Let's see how far we can go today. Maybe we'll get the whole thing done. If not, we're gonna pick up tomorrow and we are absolutely gonna get this thing done. So, all right, let me grab my laundry basket. So here's my plan. I need to get everything out of this closet that makes sense to get out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get laundry baskets. I'm gonna have a laundry basket for items that need to be put back upstairs because a lot of this is stuff that just doesn't belong in this closet and it doesn't make sense to keep it in this closet. So I'm gonna have a laundry basket for things that need to get put away upstairs, a laundry basket for items that need to go to the basement, which is where our craft room is. A lot of my arts and crafts stuff goes down there. Then I'm gonna have a trash bag because I know there is some trash in here. And then I'm gonna start my first box for donations. I have already set up my donation pickup. Today is Tuesday, they're coming on Friday. So this is my motivation to get as many donations as possible. So having a place to put things is really important when taking on a big project. And then things that I know I want to go back in this closet, I'm gonna start putting like with like as I take them out. So all the markers together, all the cards together. So anything that's gonna go back in here, like with like, and we're starting some organization from the jump, and that just makes you feel better to know you have a place, because if you take everything out, just spread it out on the floor, you're basically taking the chaos from there and then just putting it in another spot. So have a system as you're taking everything out. Let's go, friends. Yeah, no, this is like nothing, but having that first shelf cleared off truly gives me hope and encouragement and energy to keep going, and also just taking care of the floor. So sometimes it's the little victories that we have to celebrate to give us that motivation to keep going. So yay, one shelf down, a lot more to go, but we got this. I mean, you guys, look at that empty floor. How good does that feel? So I was sorting, as you saw, there was an explosion of markers because what I used to have was these bins right here hanging on the wall. Like there's one that still survived, but they got too heavy and the command strips just came off. So I have a new plan for all of my markers and just things like that, office supplies. I'm very excited to try it out today, but I just got them sorted. So I have my Like with Light going on, filling up my donation box. I ended up adding a box for the main floor of our home for things that need to get put away. Basement is getting full. Upstairs is the most full, but we are making some really good progress. Let's keep going. Feel the need to explain why you've already seen me pull out, I think probably 8 shoe boxes at this point, and now there's more shoe boxes. The boys love to keep the boxes for their basketball shoes. We never resell them. We always donate them. So I don't know why I've been doing it. I think just because they asked me to, but I'm not doing it anymore. Charlie took out the first round to recycle. I'm going to grab these and just take them straight out to recycling because it's getting picked up today. And no more saving shoe boxes. I think also in the mindset I thought, oh, school projects, we might need a couple. And maybe 1 out of 3 of my children needs 1 shoebox per year. So I'm no longer going to hold on to them. I don't think they make dioramas anymore. That's a thing of the past, even though I love a good diorama project. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we need to take another victory moment. The floor is completely empty. It's pretty much completely empty in here. One more little section to go, and this is where I put teacher gifts. So if I'm out at Target and I see a cool art supply or something's on sale, I go ahead and hold on to it. And so there's that going on. And then back here, actually this is good because a lot of you have asked me what I do with the kids, like artwork that I want to hold on to. I do have bins in the kitchen that I put them in, but overflow will typically go in here. And I don't know why, but sometimes I hold on to our family calendar. I don't know. I picture myself 20 years from now wanting to look back and see what we had going on, but it might be time to not do that anymore. I don't know that I'm truly ever going to look back on those, so it might be time to just go ahead and recycle them. So I have those back there, so I just need to go through all of this. And then the top of the closet really isn't bad. I have some good systems up here. I just keep all of our colored paper, larger paper. We have some construction paper over here, some plain notebook paper, and then I keep my, well, that needs to go into the gift pile. I have like also same thing. If I'm at a Target and I see a cool gift for a friend, I go ahead and just buy it and hold on to it. But this is like our first day of school and last day of school supplies, and then first day of school little decor that I like to decorate with in our kitchen island, and then just some overflow like poster boards and that brown craft paper that we're often using for different things. So I just need to tidy it up here and make sure there's nothing that I want to go ahead and donate, but I do have some new organizers for up here, so I'll probably end up taking everything down except my paper organizer because I don't see myself moving that to a different location, but we'll see. All right, let's get the rest of it done. Okay, so here's the reality of when you take on a big project like this. The majority of this stuff is stuff that I do want to store in the closet. And then over here are my bins of donations, things that need to go upstairs, basement, and then things that need to go upstairs, and then just my organizers that I had in here. And so now I need to take the time to put everything where it belongs. So anything that's not going to go in the closet, I'm going to go take it to the floor that it needs to go to. Okay, we've reached my absolute favorite part of these projects, and that is the organization side of it. So here's where I also do a little bit of extra decluttering. So I am going to be very intentional about what I allow back into our space. You saw on the floor, I have my pile of things that I want to organize in here, but as I'm going through and putting things in and getting them into bins and figuring out systems, I'm also double checking myself and thinking, do we really need this item? Are we gonna really use it? If the answer is no, or not a resounding yes, even if it's just a maybe, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the hallway in the boxes that I have set up for donations. So I'm gonna first put in, I like to kind of, it's like a puzzle to me. I like to put all the pieces together before I then fill the pieces. So I'm gonna put my big organizers back in. I have my bins that I wanna work with. I wanna start to arrange things and figure out how it's going to fit in there. And then I think about what I want to actually put in the bin. So I do have some new products that I got from Target that are super affordable. So anything that I can link, I will link in the video description box for you. I have some older products that I've had for years that are from Amazon, Walmart, all the places. So just check the video description box if you're looking for something. Sometimes it's also a picture down below. So I will try to get everything in there, but your girl forgets sometimes. So just leave me a comment if there's something you're interested in, and I will shoot that link to you guys. But for now, let's organize. So this is going to be a much better solution in here. So the order I had before, as you guys saw, is I had one of these in the middle and then the drawers on either side. And I was constantly battling the drawers opening and hitting right there on the edge of the wall. So this is so much better to have them in the center. And then I was able to fit, I had a second one of these in our basement storage room that wasn't being used. And so now we've basically added a lot of extra storage, and I will no longer be battling with these drawers. I do like the drawers, just like my cube system in my kids' closets. It's just a simple system and like just a way to organize things. And I already have, the fabulous labels on there that could not be any clearer of what's in there. And so I'm definitely gonna stick with that for now. Here are my thoughts on labels, and it has changed over time. When I first got my first label maker and I got my Cricut, I wanted to label anything and everything, but then I started to realize certain places it was just really just for looks, in all honesty, just to make it look pretty, but it wasn't really functional. And then over time, it gets a little bit more overstimulating when everything is labeled. So my latest philosophy on labeling things are it's very important if it's going to be items that are out of reach. So like up above, that's where all of these bins are going. I'm not going to be able to see what's in there. So having a label on there is so important. Also, in spaces where your kids are going to be looking for things. I am all about labels in places where, like, Rory is going to be independently grabbing things in our bathroom. Actually, our bathroom cabinet is another spot that I need to get my hands in there and declutter and organize with you guys soon. But I am all about the labels in our bathroom cabinet so that when the kids need more toothpaste, they can open up the cabinet. They can see exactly the bin that's labeled toothpaste. And it's just all about creating independence, but also remembering what you have. So the labels are really important in those touch places where kids are going to be touching things, where it's up high and you can't necessarily see what's in there. But places that I no longer do labels would be like some of my bins in our pantry where the cereal is, and especially if the labels are, or the bins are see-through and I can perfectly see what's inside of them. I'm no longer adding labels to things like that. Okay, let's check in. I got the top done and I love how it turned out. These crates just came from Target, very inexpensive, and I didn't really feel like I needed lids, and that way I can kind of fill them a little bit more if I wanted to. I went ahead and just printed my stickers now for those because otherwise I'd fill them and then have to take them down to put the label on later. So I took the time to do that. I just used my Leon sticker printer. I've actually been using it a lot more lately. I told you guys that versus my Cricut. It just feels a lot easier, and truly it is a lot easier. So I have over here my puzzles. I found a spot to put my puzzles, and then I just labeled it back to school because that's all the stuff that I need for the first day of school breakfast, all the little banners that I have them hold for the first day and the last day. So just back to school stuff. Over here I have teacher gifts, kid gifts for birthday parties, and then the paper here. I ended up moving all of the extra craft paper that I had up here down to my craft room. And now I have an idea for this corner. It's basically going to become our paper corner. So I don't know if you guys can tell. I think you can see on camera. It's like a shelf. It's because there's an air vent or something, an air duct behind it that feeds into our entryway. So it's almost like a built-in shelf. So I'm going to utilize that. And I have some fun, colorful containers from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to set up. And I'm just going to make that my paper storage. So let's get that set up now. So let me check in with you guys because this was a very exciting moment, but I'll go over just what I've done so far. So as I told you guys, this is just basically the corner of paper. So I have all of our construction paper. I have just fun seasonal paper that I like to use for to-do lists, or if we're leaving for a trip, I like to get fun paper for a packing list. So basically when I need to distract my brain and not get stressed about having to do a million things, I just take a fun piece of paper and make my list on it. I can't explain it, but it makes a difference for me. And then I have college ruled and wide ruled paper. This is brand new paper packs. So these will be for when we get ready for back to school and we need school supplies. I always shop what we already have, and then, you know, whatever we still need, I can buy. But these are all brand new spiral notebooks. And why I have extras is because sometimes the school supplies lists that we get aren't accurate. And so it tells us that we need to buy these things, and then the kids start school. Turns out they didn't need those things. So I just hold on to it because eventually we're going to need it. So then I have one more spiral notebook, and I have composition books there. And also, if I can find things on clearance right after back to school, which paper will go on sale for like 50 cents, I tend to load up a little bit because these are things that I know we're going to need. So those are, you know, brand new back to school supplies. And then also down here, I have brand new back to school supplies. I have a binder. I have page dividers, paper covers, just so many things. So that's another little back to school. And then I put all of my reusable zipper pouches, which I use every single day. I love these things. I get them on Amazon. I will absolutely link them for you guys because I use them for everything. They are the best. And then we have some empty shelves right here, which I want to save for Rory's like arts and crafts and summer activities. These are organized and well stocked. I probably could even take some of this stuff, like there's a glue one, and I have some glue sticks somewhere in here. So as I'm going through all of this, we'll get to that in a little bit. I'll maybe just restock what I need to in here. But here is what I am most excited about, and it's probably the least pretty part of this closet so far, but it's our family board games. I have been trying to find a place to store these where it's easy to get to them and we won't forget what we have and we can see everything. And so I had these big bins that I've had for years, and so they fit perfectly right there. I had to kind of take it a little bit over to the edge, but it has full support. So what sizes? I can send Rory in here and she can get our all-time favorite game, Shut the Box, and we can play that. And so it's just nice to have them there versus having to have them out in the living room, because Annie would love to steal little pieces and then things go missing. So it's just really exciting to actually have room in this closet to do this. I'm so glad that I put the double shelves in here. It was just such wasted space before when I had these little corners of clutter, and who knew what was in there. So yay, so good to just switch it up sometimes. All right, let's keep going. Okay, moving on to the next area, I want to talk about closet doors. If you have a small closet in your home, or you just are lacking storage space, don't forget about doors, especially the inside of a door where nobody is going to see it. I got some over-the-door organizers that I'm going to hang. I have one for each of the closets, and I'm going to maximize that space. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might remember that I used to have my own DIY ribbon holders on here and had all of my different like ribbons that I would use to prep for presents and home decor organized in here. I've since then moved everything down to a craft room that we created in the basement, so I didn't need to use it. And they've just been sitting here. Maximum storage space not being used. So I'm going to hang these on the doors, and here's my plan for this. I have a lot of school supplies. I have brand new packs of markers, brand new packs of crayons. I have so many just markers that are already out of the packs but have just like gotten used over the years, and I have an entire bin of markers down below. So I am gonna take the time to organize the markers by color. That might sound insane to some of you. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm a type A perfectionist. I think it's gonna be just relaxing to sit there and color coordinate the markers. And why I'm doing that is because each pocket is gonna have a different color marker in it. Because when Rory needs a marker, it's not that she needs a whole pack of them. She needs a specific color. And so I am trying to make my life easier. That might seem like I'm working harder, but in my mind, I'm working smarter because I will get long-term storage for the markers using the door and just easier, more efficient processes when we have them organized by color. So I'm gonna take the time to do it. This system might not be best for your family, but I know it's gonna be best for my family. But absolutely using your doors for storage is always a good idea. And I got these, they're just really expensive at Target. And I went ahead and got the clear ones. I think that's the other thing to think about. I got the clear ones so I could see exactly what's in there. They have them where they're different colors and you can't see through the pockets. So if you do that, I would recommend putting labels on those pockets so you don't forget what's in there. But I just went ahead and got clear so I didn't have to make labels. Working smarter, not harder. All right, let's do this. Since I'm really short, I'm gonna hang these up just on this rack right here while I get them filled, and then I'll get my ladder and climb up and hang them on the door. Now, I don't expect my kids to reach the very top and grab something out of there. For anybody who's new here, my husband Steven is 6 feet 6 inches. I'm barely 5'2" on a good day, so he's my human ladder, so he can reach. That will be his job to reach whatever is up there. But I am gonna think about where I'm putting everything and try to make sure that the things that I think Rory will need on a regular basis are more within her reach. That was honestly worth every single second, and it really didn't take that long. It's not like, I mean, I know it looks like we have a ton of markers, but it really isn't a ton, and we will go through them quickly. They tend to dry out. I really wanted to put all of the markers up in these, but that would not be functional. Then I was just trying to go for fancy and make them match. So I wanted to be smart because Rory will be the one coming to get her refills, and she can certainly reach all of these. I might have to help her with some of those. But up here, it's just brand new school supplies for next year, so we don't need to have daily access to those. So I really wanted to make sure that Rory could reach the markers, and this is a good spot because her brothers can certainly also reach these up here. So it's just, you know, function over fancy, you guys, but I still think it looks really nice. I love these over-the-door organizers. All right, let me set the other one up. Okay, so let me go over this one really quickly, and what's nice is I have all of this extra storage up above that I really don't need to put anything in yet, but it's good to have it. So I did all the colored pencils down here, all the crayons, and then I did our twistable crayons. I love twistable crayons, so these are smaller size ones, and then the full size, and so it is just so nice to have everything organized. All right, let's hang this one up now. been working a little bit in the background to kind of maximize my space. I really didn't feel like I needed 2 bins for tape anymore, so I was able to fit all my tape in here. And then I could take, as you just saw, my bin of pens, because I don't need to color coordinate these. These are for me. The boys will sometimes need pens for school, and so we can certainly find what they need in here, but it's usually like your standard red, blue, and black. And so this is just a nice little storage for me for all my extra pens. If you've been following, you know that I have a colored pen problem. So yes, I hoard colored pens. It is a weakness of mine, but they bring me joy. All right, now that I've emptied out all these baskets, because they held all the markers and colored pencils and crayons, I still want to kind of use them. I told you I had the command strips back here, but that wasn't working because they would inevitably just fall down. I even damaged the wall right here with one of them, so I had an idea. I use these in Stephen and I's closet to hold pants. You basically take, let me do a close-up for you. You take the belt loop of pants and just put them through these hooks right here and hang them up. And I had some extra ones, so I'm gonna hang them from the metal bars back here, and then I can just hang my baskets from them. And then I can have the baskets for storage. I don't know that I necessarily have anything I need to put in them right now. And I also don't think you should fill the space just because you have it. So I'm gonna wait, and I can have extra storage now, and I'll hang them up, and it looks really cute, but it's functional because now I have extra storage space for anything that I need it for. Let's hang them up. Okay, the last thing we have to put in here and get organized is Rory's different craft kits, entertainment, things like that. So I want to share with you guys the really affordable products that I got from Target that I'm going to try to maximize for all of this. So these simple bins, they come in different colored lids. They have all clear ones, but I thought I'd go for pink because you know I like color. So these that I'm going to use for things. And then I have a couple that are this size, and these are all just their Bright Room bins. I think these were $4 each. So I have a couple of this half size that I can stack if I need to, and then some of their larger size bins. And again, these are the Bright Room ones. I think these are just twice the size as the one I just showed you. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab all the backpacks, pull out all of her kits, go in our island cabinet because I do have some activities on either side of our island cabinets. So it'd be good to get those out and just have everything in one central spot so she can come in, she can see everything she has, she can grab what she wants. And then also, most importantly, when we get back from traveling, back from tournaments, we can unpack her backpack and know exactly where to put everything. So I think I'm most excited about getting this done. All right, let's get organized. Okay, you guys, it's all done. Let me go over a couple of things with you and then I'll give you an overview of everything. So these are perfect for all of the different activities. I have kid puzzles. We have all the scratch art, the clay. These clay kits have been such a hit. I'm going to order, they have a summer pack and then an animal pack. I will link these for you guys on Amazon. We love to play with foam. And then over here, I brought some things up actually from the craft room in the basement because it's summer now. Rory is home. She's making bracelets all the time. So I thought, why keep it all down in the basement? Let's keep it up here so it's accessible. So I have some jewelry making kits over here. And then this is all of our thread to make bracelets. And then I brought my Tina Turners. I love these. These were from the Target Dollar Spot last year or the year before, and they have a scalloped edge. But then I have all of the beads arranged. We have more beads over here. So we are just ready to go. It feels so good to have this done. All right, let me give you guys an overview. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this gave you some motivation and inspiration and ideas to use in your own home. If you're new, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button. I have all kinds of fun content over here on my channel. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.